Hi, I'm Shawn Askew, Extension Turfgrass Weed Scientist at Virginia Tech. And today I want to talk a little bit about using a pump garden sprayer for weed control in the lawn. Now the garden sprayer that we have, it's a brand new unit, it's never been used, and it has clean water in it. So we're just doing a demonstration here. But obviously with a sprayer like this, the more you pump it, the higher your pressure is going to be. So you want to try to develop a routine that maintains about the same level of pressure over time so that you're not letting it run completely out, because that's going to vary your application rate as you use the equipment. But one problem that we have with this type of spray apparatus is that typically a herbicide rate is going to be given to you, the consumer, in terms of how much product per unit area. So we have to equate that to how much product to put in this tank, and then we have to be able to apply the solution in this tank over that unit area to make sure that those rates match. So the first step in doing that is knowing how much product do you apply with a pump sprayer. Now, typically, if I were to apply at approximately 1 gallon of solution for 1,000 square feet, this is what it would look like. Just a quick pass of the sprayer, and that's it. In no way can I tell that I've treated this area. It's a very seemingly low rate, but in fact I'm actually putting out approximately 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet. Just a couple passes over the area and move on. Whereas most consumers tend to grab a sprayer like this and they do something like this. And in this situation, I'm probably putting out 8 or 9 gallons per 1,000 square feet if I were to stand there and really saturate the weed with this spray. So you would be far exceeding the application rate if that was the technique that you were using. So it's important to measure how much fluid are you applying. One way to do that would be take a vessel or a container, a 5-gallon bucket, and a stopwatch, or you can even use the timer on your phone, and then time yourself, put your nozzle over in your bucket, and then spray for a minute. A minute has passed. I'm going to take my container and measure the amount of fluid that I dispensed, and that's going to tell me how much product I apply per unit time. The next step would be to go out in an area of your lawn, and it's important to only use clean water when you're doing this because we don't want to harm the lawn or apply pesticides where they're not needed. Measure out an area 20 feet by 50 feet or any dimension that gives you 1,000 square feet. And then, using this sprayer, time yourself applying uniformly to that entire area. Just be back and forth. And when you've covered the entire 1,000 square feet, you'll know how long it took you to do so. And then you can back calculate that with the amount of product that you were applying per unit time in a 5-gallon bucket. Another way to do this would be to put a known amount of fluid in the tank, spray the area until you've gotten a uniform application, and then measure the amount of fluid that was lost from the tank. So that's two different methods to determine how much am I applying per 1,000 square feet. Then the challenge is going to be to try to replicate that on a very small area. So when I was applying, if it looked like this, I'm walking along, I need to try to replicate that when I treat this yellow nutsedge here. So it's going to be something just like that, and then move on. So big difference in application rate can occur just in how you use the sprayer. So it's important to note what your application rate is so that you know how much product to put in the tank when you go out to spray. All right, so the first step is to determine how much product are you applying with your sprayer. The second step is to determine how much herbicide do you need to put in the tank. So here's an example herbicide. The product name is 4-Speed. This is a broadleaf killer for use in the lawn. And if we look on this container, the label actually opens up and you can thumb through the booklet, which is the herbicide label, and look up the appropriate application rates. For example, here we see the weeds controlled with this product, 4-Speed, and there's a long list of different broadleaf weeds that are common in turfgrass areas. And as we move over to our rates category, the use rate in fluid ounces, the range is 1.1 to 1.5 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. All right, so if we know that we want to put 1.5 fluid ounces of force speed per 1,000 square feet, and let's say that previously we determined that our sprayer is applying 1.5 gallons per 1,000 square feet, then the math at that point is fairly simple. 1.5 fluid ounces of this product in 1.5 gallons of water, mix it up, pump it up, and spray the area to control the broadleaf weeds.